Blessings, everyone. I just wanted to come back on here and just do a quick check in on who cares for the caregiver and just check in to see how you are today. I just wanted to open with Proverbs 4:23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Welcome back. Last time, we had a conversation. Who cares for the caregiver? And we talked about the unseen burdens caregivers carry, and how serving others can sometimes leave us physically, emotionally, and spiritually exhausted. But today isn't about adding more to your to do list. Today is simply a heart check. Sometimes we're so busy checking on everyone else that we never stop to ask ourselves, how am I really? So today, let's slow down together. Take a deep breath. Find a quiet place if you can. And let's spend the next few minutes checking in. Not with guilt or condemnation, but with honesty and grace. Why checking in is important? Because many caregivers become so accustomed to carrying responsibilities that exhaustion begins to feel normal. We tell ourselves, I'm just tired. Things will slow down next week. I'll rest when everything settles down. But often, everything never settles down. See, God never intended for us to ignore the warning signs of our bodies, our mind, and spirit are given us. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is admit, I'm tired. Even Jesus, he recognized human limitation. He invites his disciples to step away from the crowd. Mark 6, verse 31. Come with me by yourself to a quiet place and get some rest. As I go through and you hear the scriptures, please write them down and you can go back and read them and reflect on them for yourselves, okay? When Jesus noticed that his disciples were constantly giving to others, they were serving, teaching, ministering, helping people, and before sending them back to ministry, he first invited them to rest. That tells us something powerful yet very important. Rest is not a reward after you've done enough. Rest is part of God's design for serving well. So let's check in. I want you to answer these questions honestly for yourselves. No one else has to hear your answers. Only you and God. Heart check. Am I carrying peace or pressure? Mind check. What has been occupying my thoughts lately? Is it overthinking, worry, joy, fear? Body check. How has your body been feeling? Am I sleeping? Have I been moving my body? Am I ignoring pain that needs attention? Spiritual, spiritual check. Have I been spending time with God? Or simply talking about Him while neglecting my own relationship with Him? Relationship check. Have I allowed anyone to care for me? Or have I convinced myself that I have to do everything alone? You have to remember you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot continue carrying everyone else if your own soul is running on empty. That isn't weakness. That's humanity. I want you to give yourself these 3 gentle reminders. Some seasons are heavier than others. You don't have to be everything to everyone. Give yourself grace. In Psalms 103, verse 13 to 14, it says, "As a father has compassion on his children, he knows how we are formed. He remembers that we are dust." So God understands our limitations, and he's compassionate towards us. Can you show yourself that same compassion? Small changes matter. That's number 2. Healing doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes healing begins with going to bed early, going for a walk, asking for help, or simply drinking more water. And I talk about this, sometimes just simply saying no. Celebrate progress. Don't overlook what God is already doing. Maybe you are setting healthier boundaries. Maybe you started spending more time with God. Maybe you've made a doctor's appointment you've been avoiding. That's progress. Celebrate it. In Isaiah 26, verse 3, "You will keep in perfect peace those whose mind are steadfast because they trust in you." What does this mean? It means peace doesn't come from having fewer responsibilities. Peace comes from placing those responsibilities in God's hand and trusting that it changes everything. So this week, I would like you to reflect on these questions. You can get yourself a journal, a book, and start journaling. What gave me life this week? Hmm. What drained me this week? What do I need to release to God today? What is one healthy boundary I need to set? Hmm. What is one way I can care for the body God has entrusted to me this week? When you start to think about each of these reflections, it really pulls you in and give you a different perspective of things that you've been avoiding. Who checks on me? Who checks on you? If no one comes to mind, ask God to help you build a community. It says, even caregivers need caregiver. We need others. We need to be in circles that encourage us. So I want to encourage you that if you're listening today, I want you to hear this. You are more than what you do. You're worthy. Your worth isn't measured by how many people depend on you. God loves you before you ever cared for anyone else. He doesn't simply love your service, He loves you. Never forget that. Until next time, remember this: you matter, your health matters, your heart matters, your rest matters, because you matter to God. I trust that this check in will help you with your reflection questions and take a few minutes and reflect on anything that's causing you pain or things you've been avoiding. I trust you'll take some time and journal. Have a blessed evening, and remember to take care of yourself.